Since 2019, Chris Thomas has served in an administrative role at the Regional Forensics Center. The uniform is different now. The mission isn't. For his entire adult life, Chris has done one thing: serve and support.
I get to be a part of this group of people and help them with the resources and the tools they need so that we can make a difference. And I feel like we have really made a difference in the last several years in the community. I feel more people are aware of the work that they do. I feel that there's more respect for the investigators and technicians and the doctors that we have. And, a lot of people just don't know all the trauma that goes on in our office. And I'm glad that I get to be there for them and support them. And having come from a background where I've seen death and horror, that I'm able to still continue to operate in an environment where, I can do that.
That background he references was forged decades earlier in Iraq. Chris's path to the military began long before his deployment. By his senior year of high school, life had reached a breaking point.
I joined the military out of necessity. I was pretty much homeless my senior year, staying with friends, living out of my car until somebody rented me their parents' little guest house. The day I turned 18, signed the papers, I really was looking for some direction, some guidance. I joined the Army as an opportunity to do something.
In 1996, Chris joined the Army National Guard. For the next 8 years, he trained and prepared. He used the GI Bill to further his education. He answered every call to serve. But nothing compared to the call that came in 2004.
And it was surreal. I remember getting the phone call from the first sergeant and said, hey, we're going to be meeting. It looks like we're going to be deployed. So there was just a lot of, this is different than anything we've ever done, but we'll do what we're called to do.
Weeks later, Chris and his unit were on the 26-hour journey to Kuwait, then into the mountains of northern Iraq. Their mission: secure the region and protect Iraq's historic election.
There were individuals that didn't like that. They come and try to disrupt it. They would throw RPGs, or they would throw in different type of mortar rounds trying to make explosions. People would scatter, and as soon as the dust cleared, they get right back in line and finish voting.
Much of Chris's deployment focused on stabilization, identifying and removing insurgent threats. Some dangers were visible, others were hidden.
Roadside bombs, IEDs, were a major issue. I would work security with the IED technicians, so if they found local citizens would contact our base and say, hey, we believe that someone has, buried an IED in this location to try to hurt somebody. So we would go out with the EOD technicians, we would set up a perimeter and pull security, and they would go. They would go up and disarm the bomb, they would send the robot up, and then they would go and pick that, round up, and we'd take it back and destroy it.
Sometimes the outcome was tragic.
One of our first EOD technicians was a guy named Eric Stephanie, and he was from California. He had 5 kids. We were pretty close, providing security, and then one day, he had went up to disarm it, and as he was bending over, there was a secondary IED device that was buried underneath there. And unfortunately, it went off and he was killed.
Chris knows he's one of the fortunate ones. While never seriously injured, he recalls a scare during a route clearance.
I was knocked out on a convoy. I was sitting up in the gunner seat. We had an incident that had shook the vehicle. So when it shook the vehicle so hard, it actually broke off this mount. It's a big, probably like 80-pound piece of metal. And when it came up, it flew up and it hit me in the side of the head. And it just took my tooth and it just exploded at my head. But it knocked me out for a few minutes. So they stopped the convoy, we went into a box, and they came back and they woke me up. And I didn't remember it. But I remember just standing back up and we just kept going. So I had this tooth dangling out of my head. I'm just spitting blood out of my mouth. I know when I got back, I think it was 2 days later before I got to go see medical care.
When Chris's deployment to Iraq ended in 2005, it marked the end of a decade in uniform. After a heartfelt talk with his wife, he chose to step away and turn his full attention to family.
I never have anything but respect for the military service that I had, and I'm proud that I did it. And I miss the guys, and I was in a combat unit too, so I knew that if I'd stayed in, I would have been back several more times. And my unit did go back several more times, and they did lose more soldiers. I have survivor's guilt. At the end, I know I've also got to provide for the family. I remember shortly after I returned, I was standing in line at a Walgreens to get some medication. And there was like 2 people in front of me. And there was a gentleman in front of me, and he was just having a fit about the 4 minutes we had waited in line. And my mind goes back to, I remember traveling for 100 miles, risking my life so I could get a Dr. Pepper. In Iraq, people would line up and stay for 2 or 3 days to put gas in their car. They would stay there for 2 or 3 days. And I'm sitting there thinking, did I used to be like this? Did I used to complain over a 4-minute wait? I realized how much we take for granted here in America, how entitled we are. Being in the Army, it's taught me respect for what I have. I don't have a lot of flashy things because they're things. You know, what's important to me are memories.